that good as prana. Infinite waters, deep divers. Hey.
Bright divisions, yeah. We ain't need no 5G, we in 5D. We ain't need no 5G, we in 5D. We ain't need no 5G, that's unlikely. We in 5D, the fifth dimensional reality. No 5G, we in 5D. We ain't need no 5G, we in 5D. We ain't need no 5G, that's unlikely. We in that 5D, that fifth dimensional reality. Yeah, I don't need no 5G because I live in 5D. I don't need new towers, I just need more of them pine trees. So when I kick it, then you know just where you'll find me. And if you ask, then you know just what the time be. It's now. I'm present in the clouds, but both feet on the ground. To Mother Gaia, connecting to the source all around. These waters also infinite, frequencies all surround. Enter and exit my cells through the miracle of sound. But I prefer the natural vibes of those from Cell Tower. You are so quick to roll it out with no test on its true power. Maybe you should just take your time, give it more than just an hour, and think about the effect you can cause, so don't hide or cower. But we know why, it's the need to constantly progress. Money, success, fear there won't be crumbs left if you're not the one who doesn't win the war or conquest. And prove to the world that you simply think that you are the best. But the real step is to get to 5D and emotionally open, true and loving light being. Not holding grudges or creating blame for fighting, but shining all your truth and light that is so blinding. Light to the darkness, let's take this time and mark this down as the first step of reaping all our harvest. Yeah, ain't it marvelous? We're all life artists, just as smart as Ralph. We're creators who all thought this. So let's unite, without a fear, and bring the light to those we're near. No 5G tower can devour the connection to this planet that is always ours. No 5G, we in 5D. We ain't need no 5G, we in 5D. We ain't need no 5G, that's unlikely. We in 5D, the fifth dimensional reality. No 5G, we in 5D. We ain't need no 5G, we in 5D. We ain't need no 5G, that's unlikely. We in that 5D, that fifth dimensional reality, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm in ancient Egypt, deep divers. Shout out to everybody who's joining us on the live stream. One love to you, deep divers. I hope your day is going good. Life is good here. As you can see, I'm in Kemet. One love to everybody on the live stream. And if you're new to these live streams, we have a whole lot of fun. The live streams is the most fun ever. Like I say, we're here to raise the vibration. Make sure you're giving thanks, deep divers. Make sure you're giving thanks. Make sure you are giving thanks. Deep divers, let's turn up. Let's turn up a little bit. deep divers, we kind of time traveled. We kind of time traveled. Shout out to everybody who's in the chat. I appreciate you. First and foremost, we're giving thanks today. Leonard Allen, thank you. Ralph Rocks, I appreciate you. Leonard Allen, shout out to you. Jennifer Monroe, one love to you, Ralph, and everyone here. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Much love to everybody here. Deep divers. Deep divers. Much love to everybody here who's diving deep. I hope your day is going good. And a lot of people love the live streams. A lot of people love the live streams because we have a lot of fun. Super Life. Ralph, I love your live streams. I appreciate that. I appreciate everyone who's diving deep. Shout out to everybody. Peace, Infinite Waters, diving deep once again. Beautiful deep divers, we are here. Jasmine, I appreciate that. Jasmine Walker, shout out to you. I'm just, woo, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Sending you all tons of good ass energy today, deep divers. Take that, take that, take that. 1984, the world's greatest awakening happening on Infinite Waters as always. And that's the thing, deep divers. There are so many deep divers all around the world. I told you. So many deep divers. Chris Lynn, shout out to you. Patiently waiting for my morning clarity session. That's what's up. That's what's up, Chris Lynn. You know, these live streams, deep divers, are all about me connecting with you in live time on YouTube, and for you to also input. If you've ever watched one of my videos and you wanted to ask me something, you wanted me to go over something, this is the time, because if I see a comment, we're going to dive into it. Leonard Allen, I appreciate that. Cat down the road is loving this live stream. Absolutely. Bohe Music, I appreciate that. Face Your Fear, absolutely. One love to everybody who's in this chat. You know, deep divers, remind yourself, Ralph Smart is having fun. First and foremost, we're having fun. We're having a good time. We're raising the frequency, raising the vibration, and we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello there? 1984, the world's greatest awakening is heating up on the planet right now, deep divers. A lot of people are starting to realize what I was telling you, what I was warning you about in 2019, that it's about to get real out here. Is getting crazier. Every single day you're seeing the full extent of this lockdown. You're seeing what's really happening with the COVID-19, with them taking away your freedoms. And right now it's time to stand up. It's not time to be silent or keep quiet, because they are slowly turning the world into 1984. When I say 1984, what am I talking about? Well, let's talk about George Orwell for a second, because George Orwell wrote the book 1984, which is very, very important. Have you ever wondered why they have Wonder Woman 1984? Right? Let me have a 1984 background. Can we do that? Okay, that's better, right? Because we're talking about 1984, so we might as well get the background as well, right? So the reason why this book is so important is because everything in that book is slowly what the world is becoming. 1984. Let me just break it down to you. Okay, so you had this book 1984, okay, written by George Orwell. It was a dystopian novel by English novelist George Orwell. Thematically, 1984 centers on the consequences of government overreach, totalitarianism, mass surveillance, and repressive regimentation of all persons and behaviors within society. So right now, you're seeing 1984 as I speak. And we're going to talk about what we can do about this. But I'm just letting you know, this is 1984. And that's why you're having Wonder Woman 1984. I told you, they tell you what they're going to do in the movies. 2021 will be the implementation of 1984, the Big Brother state, the authoritarian dictatorship on the planet. I told you, you better get prepared for what's coming. You better get prepared for what's coming. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see you. So one thing I want to tell you, deep divers, shout out to everybody who's been diving deep. One thing I want to tell you, everybody on the chat, is that you're doing a great job. If you're watching this video, if you've been watching any of my videos or other people who are helping you awaken, you're already on the right path, because not everybody's going to make it out here. A lot of people are going to remain in lockdown. A lot of people are going to give their powers away, their freedoms away. Sophia, I appreciate that. Using my social media to share your videos and daring people to wake up, especially those that are in the fake woke and still feed into the booby traps. I appreciate that. Natural Mystic TV, big up to you. Daniel, I appreciate that. My friend literally just asked me for this book that I borrowed like a year ago, The Synchronicities. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I'm here to remind you, deep divers, this is not the time to be afraid, but it's the time to be aware. It is the time to be aware of what's really happening on the planet right now. And what is happening is the introduction to 1984, a Big Brother state of authoritarian dictatorship and the microchip. Right here. This is what they want for you in 1984, which is 2021. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Woo! I want to tell you this, deep divers. I want to tell you this. You have to ask yourself, am I doing the right thing every single day? As soon as you wake up, you got to ask yourself, am I doing the right thing? Okay, you got to look at yourself right now and say, am I doing the right thing? You got to live with yourself and say, hey, am I doing the right thing? Lift your head up and say, am I doing the right thing every single day? In a meditation, am I doing the right thing? That's what you got to ask yourself every single day. Vibing with Nikki, I appreciate you. That's what you got to ask yourself every single day. Am I doing the right thing? So I had a choice to make, deep divers. To do the right thing or to move people into 1984. There are people on this planet whose job it is to move you into 1984. And what is the end goal of 1984? just like in the book by George Orwell. It is to Crazy PTV. I appreciate you. The young generation is here. 23-year-old from Greece. That's wonderful. Let me give you a horn. Big up to Greece in the house. Yeah. So right now, it is the world's greatest awakening, because right now humanity is at the crossroads. But you don't want to just be at the crossroads. You want to know which direction to go in, because if you're just standing there at the crossroads, you're going to be left there. Christy LC, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody in the chat. Deep Divers, how's your day going? We just started the live stream. And a lot of people will say, Ralph, man, you know, there's so many people diving deep. A lot of you don't know. I got a whole private video section on my website, right? Vernon Jordan, Ralph has at least 5 million subscribers. YouTube be hating. They always hating, right? You know, a lot of people are waking up. I see this every single day. I see it every single day. A lot of people, don't be fooled. You know, a lot of people all around the world are starting to wake up to what's really going on. A lot of people all around the world are forming a resistance. And this is why there's a huge rush to get 1984 installed as quickly as possible. Rude Awakening, I appreciate you, Ralph. You've inspired me to start my own channel and join the cause. Thank you, brother. Peace. I appreciate you. Rudy, let me blow a horn for you. In fact, let me drop a love bomb for you. It's going down. It's going up as well. Oh, Deep Divers, we're having fun on this one. Tamara's Journey Home, I appreciate you. Shout out to everybody who's just joining me on the chat. Like I told you, Deep Divers, this show is not my show. It's your show. A lot of you might have something to tell me. You might have information for me that I need to know about. You might have information for me that I need to know about. Right? Okay, Tamara. Shout out to Tamara right now. Shout out to Tamara. Tamara's Journey Home. I'm a single mother. I feel I should relocate my family from the US to a small country in Africa so we can be free from the government overreach. Am I on the right path? Absolutely. Absolutely. And congratulations, like I told you, to everybody who's starting to realize right now it's time to get out of the matrix. Congratulations. Keep going. Keep going. Keep clapping. Keep clapping. Keep clapping. That's wonderful. That is truly wonderful that you're doing that. You know, I had a choice to make. I had a big choice to make. And the choice was Brulio Ferrer. I appreciate that. I appreciate that offering. Natural Mystic, don't worry, I got you. I want you to remind yourself that You always have a choice. You always have a choice. You always have a choice. You see, they are getting ready to turn the whole West into 1984. This is a better background, right? They're trying to turn the whole world into 1984. Just like George Orwell's novel, this is what they want. And that's why right now, even in schools, I told you, mandated face masks in all schools. So if you got children, I told you, they don't have any future. Your children don't have any future because they have mandated face masks in schools, right? And that's just the tip of the iceberg. It's going to get a whole lot worse. It's going to get a whole lot worse. So you got to be thinking of ways to wake up, find out what's really going on. Because I told you, if you think, hey, you know what? Ain't got nothing to do with me, then you're going to wake up and you're going to be in for a rude awakening. You're going to be in for a rude awakening. Shout out to everybody who's diving deep. Deep divers, I see you. I see you. Like I said, deep divers, unity. Natural Mystic TV, I appreciate that. So many wonderful deep divers. You see, anytime I got a lot of wonderful deep divers on the live stream, deep divers, I say this. Check this out. I can't believe how many amazing people are on this live stream. I love you. Natural Mystic TV, shout out to you. So I work a 9 to 5 right now where they force these masks. As a father of 2, I'm having trouble living this lie, but think of my kids. I guess I'm asking, what would you do? Any advice? That's a great question. You see, I always tell you one thing. I'm practical. I'm always practical. And you got to do what you got to do. If you need to work a 9 to 5, do it. But also realize that it's also time to find a new environment. I was in the Matrix for a long time. I was in the Matrix for a long, long time. Oh my gosh, the Matrix is behind me, literally. I was in the Matrix for a long time, deep divers. I was trapped there, right? And I because of that, I know so much about how the system works. And I told you, we are the only species that has to pay to live and eat, yet we're supposed to be the most intelligent. What? Slow motion this side. So what I did was wean myself off the 9 to 5, off the Matrix lifestyle. And you do that by working part-time until eventually you have a vision for your business. Then you start your own business. Right now is the time to do it. So continue to work to provide for your family, but at the same time, don't get lazy. Don't think your work is going to take care of you. You know how many people lost their jobs? Do you know how many people lost their jobs because of COVID-19? They woke up one day and said, oh my gosh, I ain't got no job. You know, I had a fancy job in the city. It was paying so good. Oh my gosh. Then COVID-19 came around. It spoiled the party. You see, don't think that you're safe in your job. Do not think that you are safe in your corporate job. You want to be saying, how can I be free of the next economic collapse that's happening? It's going to happen. Because so long as you're stuck in these matrix jobs, you're going to wake up and just like this gentleman here, you're going to say, gosh, I lost my job. Hashtag COVID-19. Geo Trip, and I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody right now on this live stream. I appreciate everybody on this live stream. You know, deep divers, we're having fun right now. Let's just turn up. Let's just turn up right now. That's the music I use to get inspired, deep dive. Is that 80 sound, right? That 80 sound. Geo Trip, and I appreciate that. Once again, deep divers, it's all good energy from me to you. It's all good energy. It's all good energy. Geo Tripping, keep blazing the trail. It's great to have you here. We can't think outside the box if we've never been in one. What? Slow motion this side. Shout out to Geo Tripping. You know, shout out to everybody on the live, deep divers. Everybody who's doing whatever they can to free their minds right now. That's what it's all about. Justin Lovelace, I appreciate you. Shout out to Justin Lovelace. Shout out to Justin Lovelace. You know, right now, deep divers, you see, this social media thing right here is how they actually said, okay, this is how we're going to create the 1984. If we keep everyone trapped, in these social media apps, Facebook, you know, I always tell you this, deep divers, instead of going on Facebook, put your face in a book. What? Slow motion this side. Right? So when we realize part of the 1984 was to create a world where everybody can be easily tracked. Everybody can be easily traced. And you see, they gave you all of this stuff, deep divers. They gave you all of this stuff, not for your benefit. They gave you all of this stuff to control you. All of these apps, Facebook, Instagram, all of these social media apps, they gave you them to control you. Do you know that one of the early presidents of Facebook, okay, the early presidents of Facebook was like, we need to find a way to keep people on these social media apps for a long time. So they employed a lot of top psychologists to say, okay, how can we get people to stay on these apps as long as possible? And they realized that the dopamine hit was perfect. Once people started getting likes and reshares and all of these things, they became hooked. And this is why this was the first introduction to 1984, to keep you addicted to these social media apps. So much so that you forget reality. That's why a lot of people, as soon as they wake up, they don't even say hi, Ralph, right? They don't even say hi, cat down the road. They just jump on their phone and they're hooked on Instagram. They call it Instagram because it's the gram, it's the drug. They keep you hooked there. And you have to remind yourself, this is part of the New World Order I told you about. In the New World Order, they want you to lose connection with yourself. They want you to lose connection with yourself. And they want you to be connected to a machine. This is just the beginning of 1984. It was started a while ago. So what I want to remind you of, deep divers, first and foremost, is to realize that things don't get better unless you make them better, okay? Things don't get better unless you make them better. Things don't get better unless you make them better. Can somebody please tell me what the hell that is? Anybody? Anybody? Going once? Going twice? Do we have a bidder? Highest bidder? Going? Going? Right? So what you see is nothing more than a dog muzzle. Now, I love dogs. You know, I got a cat down the road. I never actually talk about the dog down the road, but one thing the dog down the road absolutely hates is this damn muzzle. You know, I mean, it's not that loud, to be honest, deep divers, but you know, sometimes some random person puts this on him and he hates it. Well, this is a government mandated muzzle. And so is this, until you take it off. If you don't take it off, that is no different from this or this. So I want to remind you, once again, shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Shout out to everybody. Let's go to Stonehenge for a little second. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. You know, people are like, Ralph, I hope the aliens come and save us. We're in trouble, Ralph. That flying saucer above my head, deep divers, is coming down to save you, right? So we got to start realizing, deep divers, that the temperature is increasing on the planet. This is all part, once again, of 1984. It's all part of 1984. And you have to remind yourself right now, you have a big choice to make. Are you gonna just submit and be subservient? Or are you gonna wake up and say, I know my rights? It's a choice. Every single day you wake up, you got to choose. Every single day you wake up, you got to choose. So, like I told you, shout out to everybody in the chat. Justice Lovelace. Once again, deep divers, it's all about gratitude. Let's go to Mexico. It's all about gratitude. Justin Lovelace. We thank you so much, brother. We support you 100%, and you motivate us to continue to speak truth. Let love guide you. Once again, you are appreciated. Let me drop a bomb on you of positivity. Let me give you some horns. Most of all, congratulations, because you are also part of the change. You are also part of the change. You are also part of the change. So Justin, I see you. Justin, you are appreciated. You see, that's the thing, deep divers. Let me tell you this. The reason why it's so easy, I told you, it's so easy to create 1984. It's so easy because one thing about human beings is that many human beings are not united. And this is why you walk around and this is what you're going to see for the rest of your life until human beings learn how to be unified. So I told you, it's always a choice. It's always a choice. Right now. Shout out to Justin. Guy Bray, shout out to you. Once again, deep divers, we're live streaming. I'm here for you, deep divers. And I want to tell you this, deep divers. Shout out to you, Justin. Let me just tell you this. You see, I have a lot of time to free my mind. A lot of time to free my mind because I've been on this journey a little while now. And because of that, I bought time, right? I invest in time. I say, okay, I want to wake up and just be very free. I also want to have my mind free. I also want to help people. Now, to get in this position I'm in is not easy because people got bills to pay. Some people are working long hours. I used to work 12 hours a day. But one day, I was able to free myself from the matrix and I became the architect. What? Slow motion this side. I said, you know what? I'm going to awaken the people, but I'm going to show people you can also manifest. You can also manifest a YouTube Gold Award. What? You can also manifest a YouTube Gold Award while inspiring millions of people. I did it. So like I told you, deep divers, I'm not just talking to talk. I already got all the results. I already manifested gold. And I'm only gonna become more prosperous. Let's go back to ancient Rome, ancient Greece for a second. So just remind yourself, deep divers, you also can create a whole new reality for yourself. Shout out to everybody right now. Just Jenna, I appreciate you. Everybody in the chat. We got a whole lot of things to talk about. We're just warming up. We're just warming up. Let me give a huge shout out to everybody who's sending an offering in, because these are the people who I do the live streams for. G Browl 93. Ralph, you are a great mentor, a true blessing on earth. I have a question. How do you overcome the part of you that holds on to the matrix, the consumer, and the addiction to fake and cheap dopamine release? That's a powerful question. That's a powerful, powerful question. You see, let me tell you this. How this whole system was set up is to keep people distracted. Just like these children here. You can't blame them. This was us once upon a time. You know, we just do what our friends are doing. And I told you, now they're mandating face masks in schools, right? So how do you overcome the part of the matrix, the part that holds you to the matrix? It starts with realizing, you see, you can get everything in the matrix, Gbro 93. You can get a nice job, right? Just like this guy did. He got a nice job in the city before COVID-19 came. Oh, he had a great job. He was so happy. But the thing is, you see, the thing is, he forgot one thing. And that thing, the thing that he forgot was that this matrix was built on a shaky foundation. You know how I always used to say, you're looking a little bit shaky, baby. Yeah, the matrix is very shaky because do you know how many people lost jobs? I had a few people I know personally who lost their entire business because they had physical shops. When the lockdown hit, they lost hundreds of thousands, not thousands, hundreds of thousands. Some people lost millions, and some people are going to lose because I told you, the second lockdown is coming. The second lockdown is coming in the next few months, just in time for Christmas. So you have to start realizing that what's holding you to the matrix is to say, okay, I want to make a living. This is what holds a lot of people, or I want to make it. Okay. Some people say, hey, I want to make it in the matrix, like this woman, this wonderful woman. I want to become someone in society. But this is how they keep you trapped in. You see, they can print as much money as they want. I told you, they can print as much money as they want. You see, it's all an illusion in the matrix. So, you see, right now, you have to know what it is you're here to do. I told you, the moment I followed my purpose, I became rich. What? Slow motion this side. So you have to start believing enough in yourself to say, actually, it's time for me to go for it. It's time for you to let it rain on. Let it rain. You got to start saying your affirmations. Let it rain. Let it rain, baby. You know, I wake up every single day. It just rains on me, deep divers. Pure wealth, pure abundance, because I told you it's called divine ordering. All I got to do is visualize and I materialize. It's that simple. I visualize and I materialize. I visualize, then I materialize. It's that simple. So you got to realize what you're living in. You're living in a virtual reality simulation. You know, and just like a film, it looks so real. You got people eating their popcorn. Hey, you know, it's just a film, you know, and a lot of people take it so real. They're like, oh my gosh, everything seems so real in the movie. But then you wake up because the film was boring. You go outside and then reality hits home. You're like, oh, that was just a film. It wasn't even that real to begin with. Well, that's the same thing as reality. When you realize you're living in a film, there's two things you can do. Well, there's a few things you can do. First and foremost, you can say, who the hell is directing this film? You know, instead of just eating popcorn. I mean, popcorn is cool, deep divers. You know, I love popcorn with the cat down the road sometimes, but a lot of people don't really know who the hell is directing this film. You know, it seems so real. You know, because the media are also part of the movie. People are like, gosh, pass me the popcorn. Right? People are like, pass me the popcorn. And a lot of people, they forget everything is scripted in a film. Everything is scripted in a film. I told you about Hollywood. There's a reason why Hollywood create films, not just for your entertainment, because they have something called predictive programming. And when you learn about that, you start to realize that sometimes if you believe in something enough, it's no longer a movie, it's real life. And this is how they implement the 1984. It's called predictive programming. That's how they do it. Predictive programming. Right? I told you. Because I was just thinking about that book, 1984. You know, then I saw the trailer for Wonder Woman, also 1984, coming out in 2021. So they're telling you, it's just a little subliminal joke they have. Hey, 1984 is coming in 2021. Shout out to everybody in the chat, deep divers. We're just chillaxing right now. We're just having fun, deep divers, getting warmed up. You know, I got so many beautiful backgrounds to choose from. So many. Let's go to Rio de Janeiro for a second. So, shout out to everybody in the chat right now. You are appreciated. Fizzy Mac, I appreciate you. You know, once again, deep divers, I'm here. I'm here for all the deep divers. Fizzy Mac, hello Ralph, shout out to all the deep divers in the chat. How do I stay on the path of righteousness when there is so much evil and darkness in the world today and see through all these illusions? That's a great question. That's a great question. Let me tell you this, Fizzy Mac. Sometimes it can seem like a cold world. A lot of people right now on the planet, they're starting to realize that the world is not what they anticipated. The world is not what they thought it would be. They had plans to travel, plans to see people, and COVID-19 messed it all up. I want to tell you, Fizzy Mac, to stay on the path of righteousness when there is so much evil on the planet, To see through all of these illusions, you have to remind yourself first and foremost to be the light. $550 AJ, I appreciate you. Shout out to AJ. I appreciate you, AJ. I appreciate all the deep divers here. You know, we're just having fun, baby. So, let me tell you this. Julie. Oh, we got so many amazing people in the chat right now. So many amazing people on the chat. Deep divers, how are you enjoying the live stream? How are you enjoying the live stream? Okay, we're going to raise the vibration, deep divers. We're going to raise the vibration. Right? We did that song. Let's go with this one. We had to raise the vibration. You see, I play the music, deep divers, just to show you how beautiful the world is, just to show you, remind you, like I told you, this is the world's greatest awakening as well. At the same time, Pebbles, I appreciate everybody in the chat. Deep divers, we're just warming up. We're just warming up, deep divers. Let me give a shout out to you, Julie. 2521, I appreciate the offering. Shout out to Julie. And that's the thing, deep divers. You see, gratitude has helped me to manifest a YouTube Gold Award. Gratitude has helped me manifest. You see, every single day when I'm sharing videos, I'm also creating extreme wealth at the same time. And I'm only going to get wealthier, healthier, happier, more love. Do a little samba, baby, and a cartwheel while I'm at it. Okay? Shout out to Julie. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Like I told you, deep divers, it's not about me. This is the people show. This is the deep divers show. This is the Deep Divers Show, Christopher Humanity. I appreciate that. 1980 guided light to humanity. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, if you're an 80s baby, put your hand up. If you're an 80s baby, put your hand up. We're having fun on this one, Deep Divers, as always. As always. You see, this is the world's greatest awakening. This is the world's greatest awakening right now. And I want to remind you of that. Shout out to you. I'm giving a shout out to all the deep divers who are dropping it right now. The Salon Chat TV, that's what's up. Ralph, you should rule the world. I have a small YouTube channel and I share stories of salon professionals with the world. What is your best advice for me? You see, everybody should rule their own world. I'm not here to be a dictator. I'm here to remind you, just like Morpheus in the Matrix, that you have the power. And if you have a hair salon YouTube channel, if you're just starting on YouTube, realize every step matters. Every step counts. YouTube is extremely difficult to crack. It's the hardest social media platform to grow on because YouTube, there are so many content creators who are posting videos. So the only way you can stand out is if you do this. Can I get a hello? That's the only way you're going to stand out, right? You got to think of a good catchphrase, right? You got to think of a real good catchphrase, and they're running out. You got to remind yourself that if you want to inspire people, especially on YouTube, you have to be different. You have to be different. The reason why I got nearly 2 million subscribers on this channel, millions more on my website, is because there's nobody like Ralph Smart in the universe, right? There's nobody like me, right? There's nobody like me. So you have to say, hey, there's nobody like me too. If there's nobody like you on YouTube, you are going to manifest gold. All the YouTubers I know who are on that gold level, YouTube Gold Award, they're all totally different from everyone else. They're all totally different. So you got to be able to be different. That's the way you're going to grow, especially on YouTube. Shout out to everybody diving deep in the chat. So realize also be consistent. Just Jenna, I appreciate that. Shout out to you, Just Jenna. Shout out to Just Jenna. Ralph, you are my favorite bit of stardust on social media. That's a compliment, Jenna. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. I struggle with social media, but you make it make sense. Thank you for helping me awaken. I see 1111 every day. You see 1111 every day? So do I. Oh my gosh, there's 1111. I can't believe it, Jenna. We just literally manifested 1111 together. This is amazing. I appreciate you. This is the world's greatest awakening. And I know this because right now, so many people are refusing to accept the 1984 they want for you, are refusing to accept the authoritarian dictatorship they want for you. You see, the book 1984, yeah, I got a little sample for you. Let me go back. So in this book, you can see what it says, right? War is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. This is what they want for you right now. They want 1984 for you. See, 1984 was not just a book. It was a documentary. What? Let me just do a slow motion to that, deep divers. Slow motion this side. You see, George Orwell and another chap by the name of Aldous Huxley, who wrote The Brave New World, how did they know about 1984? How did Aldous Huxley know? How did Aldous Huxley know about The Brave New World? Okay, this is Aldous Huxley's book, The Brave New World. Everything he said in that book is what's happening right now. You think it was just a book, right? So you need to study those two books especially as well as Feel Alive by Ralph Smart on Amazon and ralphsmart.com/the book, right? You need to study this book, Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. You also have to study 1984 because that's the book which they don't want to just leave a book. They want to actually turn it into a reality. See, one of the things in 1984, which was huge, they had the theme that freedom is slavery. See, if you repeat that enough to people, they are eventually going to believe they're going to believe that's the truth. You see, if you realize right now, a lot of people think this is freedom. A lot of people think, hey, you know, there's nothing wrong with this. This is fine. Don't you know? This is normal. So this is how 1984 works. I told you, it's a slow process, but the results work. You see, they plan this years in advance. When you do that, you start getting common sense back in you. But you see, 1984 is all about social engineering. This is how they literally social engineer a whole planet by telling you that this is wrong, this is right, wrong, right, wrong, right, 2 + 2 = 5. That was the whole theme of 1984 Big Brother. If you convince people that 2 + 2 is 5, well, 2 + 2 is 5. So if you convince people, wait a minute, what do you see on the side of their arms, deep divers? This is very important. This is very important because 1984 is all about this. That's what the whole book is about. It's all about people bowing down to authority, Big Brother. But this is actually what's happening. Right? It would have been cool if it was just a book, deep divers. But this is actually a reality right now. Do you know that they're planning to turn human beings into a barcode? This is all part of the smart grid. It's all part of they call it the universe of things. They want to connect everyone to the cloud. And that's why Elon Musk, you know, he's all about this Neuralink. They want to put a chip inside of your brain just like this. And if you take a look at this, deep divers, take a look at this. So this is actually a microchip. This is actually a microchip that they put inside of animals. It's so small. What you can see right now is just a needle. It's just a needle right now. And It's tiny. It's basically invisible to the human eye. They already have this technology and they insert it into animals right now. So if the cat down the road goes missing, all you got to do is just insert a microchip in the cat down the road and you're going to know where it is. Have you seen the cat down the road, deep divers? I've been looking for the cat down the road. I've been looking for the cat down the road all over the place. Have you found the cat down the road? So this thing here is actual technology they have right now as I speak. This is an extremely tiny microchip they use to track animals right now. Well, this is what they're going to have for you. They already have it. So like I say, sometimes the truth is stranger than the fiction. And right now, it's time to wake up. Because deep divers, we're truly living in a marvelous world. Don't let anybody fool you. When you are free of this matrix, when you wake up, just do a 360, baby. Breathe in that good ass prana. You start to realize that you no longer have to live according to these rigid programs, these rigid rules. You are free to do whatever you want. You are free to do whatever you want when you're in the heart of nature. You know, shout out to everybody right now who's in the chat. I see you. Let me give a big shout out to the one, the marvelous, the marvelous Ariana Kriebel, a good friend of mine. Ariana Kriebel, I appreciate you. We were born to usher in a new world. We create change by embodying change. We have big shoes to fill. No worries. It's our chosen mission. Oh, baby. Ariana, I got to drop a love bomb on you right now. Is that okay? Is that okay? Is that okay? What? Sound the horn. Absolutely. You see, that's what it's all about, deep divers. Ariana just took the words out of my mouth. We were born to usher in a new world. We create change by embodying change. We have big shoes to fill. No worries. It's our chosen mission. And that's the whole thing. You know, a lot of people know that they're one of the chosen ones. A lot of people right now know they came here to do something phenomenal. Shout out to you, Keda's Garden. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody here. Everybody here, deep divers. Everybody here. So, 1984, the world's greatest awakening. One of the biggest awakenings I'm seeing, even in my own personal journey, is being able to see very clearly what's going on. You know, what you're seeing right now is the biggest global motion picture film in the history of the planet. You better grab your popcorn. You better grab your popcorn. What you're seeing right now with this whole awakening is, like I told you, It's the return of the gods. It's the return of the golden age. Right now, it is the return of the golden age. See, it all goes back to ancient Egypt. It all goes back to ancient Egypt. This is where it all started. This is where it all started. And that's why if you are in the occult, if you are in a secret society, you know everything about Egypt. Because you know that they had technology light years ahead of anything we have right now. But where did that technology go? Oscar, I appreciate you. They still don't know how they built the pyramids. You see, there's a mystery in the pyramids. There's a mystery in that time on the planet. Oscar Theodora SWA. Hi, Ralph. Much love. I appreciate you, Oscar. One love to everybody in the chat. So this was when the earth was in the golden age, the land of milk and honey. I've been to Egypt, deep divers. And when you look at the Great Pyramid of Giza, you start to realize that, whoa, sugar. How the hell did they build this pyramid? Because when you see it, it looks spectacular. But when you're actually there, when you actually see the pyramids close up, you realize that whoever constructed these pyramids, and you got to remind yourself, it's not only pyramids in Egypt. There were pyramids all over the planet at that time, in Russia, all over America, all over Sudan. But when you go to the pyramids in Egypt and you realize that 2.3 million blocks of stone, they can't create a pyramid like that today. You start to realize that, hey, I don't know who built these pyramids, right? Whoever did, they knew a few things because they aligned these pyramids to Orion's belt. They align these three pyramids to Orion's belt. So when we start to realize that there's a lot happening on the planet we're not privy to, there are other Earth-like planets in this solar system. There are other Earth-like planets in this solar system. One of them is Kepler, right? Exactly like Earth. They're like, who the hell lives there? Well, the full disclosure will come soon when they stage a fake alien invasion. Deep divers, I love all of you in the chat. But this is the Great Awakening, because I told you it all starts when we go back to the golden age of ancient Egypt, when people realized there was so much more than they had been told. That they were so much more than they thought they were. They realized that, oh my gosh, I'm not only just a physical body. I'm not only just a bag of meat. You know, I actually have a spirit inside of me. This is the Great Awakening that's happening. You see, they've done a good job. They've done a very good job in distracting people, in keeping people in fear. Because when you're focused on that, you can't be focused on this, right? You can't be focused on really just getting a nice bath from a waterfall. You can't be focused on that, right? So we have to choose, where are we placing our focus? Are we focused on this? Or are we focused on this? See, which one is the higher vibration? This or this? This or this? So like I say, the Great Awakening is where you realize you can choose where you place your focus. If you are always waking up every single day, because I told you, this is how they want you. I ain't going to buy your tissue, deep divers. I'm sorry. But if you are waking up like this woman, afraid, scared, I'm here to remind you that's exactly what they want. Because the more fear you embody, the more you will be kept a prisoner in this matrix. Fear is the greatest trap of the matrix. That's how they keep you. They keep you locked down, literally, just by this frequency. So this is 1984, just this woman right here. She's worried about something. The Great Awakening and how to stop the 1984 from becoming a reality is to rise like the queen you are, rise like the king you are. Let those arms hang out, lift them up, face the sun gaze. Make sure you're reconnecting with nature every single day. All of a sudden, you even forget what's happening on the planet. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Deep divers, I told you. I'm just having fun. We got the whole live stream set up. Woo! And it's going real good. Now, to everybody who's sending an offering, I appreciate you. Sarah Talley, thanks, Ralph. How might we help stay centered when everyone around us is dissuading us from unplugging from the matrix? Is it to stay focused and draw within our heart? It's difficult to say. It's difficult to stay brave, right? Shout out to Sarah Talley. That's a great question. How do we stay centered when everyone around us is dissuading us from unplugging from the matrix? Is it to stay focused on the draw within our heart? It's difficult to stay brave. What a great question. What a great question. You see, deep divers, that's why I gotta read people's questions when I'm live streaming. You got to realize this, to stay centered, it's not easy. It's not easy. But what I'll tell you is that the one thing you have to realize is that it's not personal. As a chosen one, as somebody who has their third eye open, as somebody who's a roaring lion and not a sheep, people are going to turn on you. People are going to, even your own friends and family might even abandon you. It happens when you're young, though. It happens when you're young. There's a lot of pressure, especially now. I got people, I got youngsters watching my videos, 14, 15. I also started diving deep when I was a young buck, deep divers, right? Had a baby face. When I was diving deep, had a lot of people, even family members, saying, what are you doing? Just be normal. Just watch TV, drink Coca-Cola, do what everyone else is doing. Watch the news and be quiet. So you got to realize that it may even be someone in your family. Oftentimes it's those closest to us who want to tell us what to do the most. And you have to realize it's not personal. It's just that, unfortunately, they were misled, they were misguided, they were programmed in the matrix. So you're going to have a thick skin. You're going to have a thick skin. You see, I told you, I'm a Pisces, deep divers. And as a Pisces, I'm bloody resilient. You need to make sure that you stay strong within yourself. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. I appreciate everybody right now who's in the chat. Chosen One, I appreciate the offering. Shout out to Chosen One. Chosen One Queen, she's always there. Love is power. Absolutely. Love is power, deep divers. You know that. You know that. You see, one thing about love, baby, it's the most powerful force on the universe. This is what the Great Awakening is all about. And this can be your future. This can be your reality if you let it be your reality. It's a choice. Like everything, it's a choice. Are you going to choose the higher frequency? Or are you going to allow yourself to be programmed by the lower one? Shout out to everybody in the chat, deep divers. You asking me to come to your radio show? Shout out to ET First. I appreciate the offering. Shout out to everybody. ET First Contact Radio. Shout out to you. Come into my radio show, brother. Email me. Tell me what your radio show is about, and let's see what I can do. Because right now it's about unity right now. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody on the chat. Deep divers, like I told you, I got love for you. Let's raise the vibration, deep divers. Let's raise the vibration. Let's go 80s. Oh, deep divers, deep divers. We just literally rose the vibration through the roof. Goodness gracious. See, that's what happens right now. When you're just raising the frequency, raising the vibration, beautiful things happen, deep divers. Beautiful things happen. Right now, like I told you, the future's looking bright, deep divers. When you can really be aware of everything that's happening, the future is looking bright. Shout out to you, Liz Lopez. And that's a fantastic point by Liz, deep divers. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I love all of you. Liz Lopez, fear is giving them control. Love is what releases us and all the restrictions. It's what heals. Absolutely. 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 You see, Liz just summed it up. To prevent 1984 in your life, in your reality, you have to realize what Liz just said is so profound. Fear is giving them control. Love is what releases us, and all restrictions is what heals. So, shout out to everybody who's really on that frequency. So, one thing I'm seeing, deep divers, one thing I'm seeing, shout out to you, Holly McLean with that $100 bill. Whew. I appreciate you, Ralphie. One love to you. Let me give a salute, because that was a big offering right there. $100, deep divers. You see, I always tell you, stay grateful. Stay grateful. Keep it going. Keep clapping. You can do better than that. Louder. Louder. Don't stop. Don't stop clapping. Don't stop. Oh, you're stopping. Okay. That was for you, Holly. Like I said, I'm grateful for all the deep divers, and that's what I do, one thing I want to remind you, deep divers, is of gratitude every single day. You see, this is bigger than any of us right now. But the way you're going to prevent 1984 is by supporting people who are doing the work. I've been supported. I got to thank all the deep divers, because deep divers helped me manifest the whole YouTube Gold Award. See, there are so many people diving deep that YouTube had to give me a YouTube Gold Award. People in every single country diving deep every single day. And it's because the community is so strong. The community is so strong. Donna, I appreciate you. Shout out to Donna. Oh, we're just warming up, deep divers. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream, baby. 4K resolution. Donna Petite, Ralph, you are a bright soul that inspires me to have hope. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Once again, you see, I always got to give praise. I'm thankful to everybody on this live stream. I'm thankful to all the deep divers who are watching my videos, who are sharing my videos around. I'm expressing gratitude right now, because without you, I wouldn't wake up every single day with a whole bunch of grapes in my mouth. The full embrace, I appreciate you. I speak even when my voice shakes. Thank you for the inspiration. That's wonderful to hear. Full embrace, and that's a wonderful name. You see, right now, deep divers, it's all about letting go, and it's all about having a full embrace. You see, this woman, I love this clip. She's literally breathing in that good ass prana, baby, and she's having a full embrace of that good ass prana. This is how we're all supposed to live. Breathing in that good ass prana, taking in that full embrace, watching the waves go by. This is what life is all about. That's what life is all about, deep divers. For me anyway. I mean, I can't talk for you. I can't talk for you. But like I told you, let's go back to 1984. Okay, if you're just joining the chat, 1984, the world's greatest awakening. So let's talk about 1984 just for a brief second, because this is what is really happening on the planet right about now. It's about this frequency. It's the 1984 frequency. And this picture right here, deep divers, okay, this picture right here, the face masks, and on their arms, what does it say? What does it say on their arms, which is so important for you to know about? 1333 Benjai M. I appreciate that. 1333. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. We ain't even going to go into that yet. Hold on a second. We need to bring the dolphins out for this one. We need to bring the dolphins out for this one. We're in infinite waters, baby. Anytime you drop 13333, we're bringing the dolphins out for you. We're bringing the dolphins out for you. I told you. Let me give a huge shout out to Benjai M. 133.33. That's gratitude right there. That's gratitude right there. Even the dolphins are grateful. Even the dolphins are grateful. Dolphins are like, oh my gosh. So let me go back. Let me go back to 1984 deep divers. I'm having so much fun here. So in 1984, the world's greatest awakening. So I've spoken to you about how George Orwell's book 1984 wasn't actually a book. It was a warning for what's to come on the planet. 2021 is 1984. That's why Wonder Woman 1984 is going to be released around that time. There's a reason why they had Wonder Woman 1984, because it's all about, that's the theme they want for you. They want to turn the planet into a dictatorship. So before Benji came, we were on this page, right? So what does it say on their arm? And this is something you got to be aware of. What does it say on their arm? Because if you read what it says on their arm, that's exactly what this is all about. Shout out to everybody diving deep right now. Tanika Wright, I appreciate you. What does it say on their arm? You see, this is what this is all about. And the only way out of this, that's right, it says slave. Absolutely. It says slave. And you have to remind yourself you have a choice to be free or to be a slave. To be free or to be a slave. To be free or to be a slave. Because that's what the barcode, the human barcode they want to turn you into is all about. Now, are you ready to dive deep, deep divers? I told you. Follow the money. Follow the money. Follow the money. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Deep divers, we're just having fun right now. We're just having fun right now, deep divers. So, one thing I noticed is that, because recently they were talking about how all children now need to wear face masks in school. And it just made me realize that that's 1984 right there. Because if you have every child wearing a face mask, eventually, if you can get them when they're young and they accept it, it's finished. It's over, because that's all they're going to know. Right? That's all they're going to know. They're going to wake up and that's it. They're not going to be able to know the difference, because they're not going to be able to know what was before that. So you got to remind yourself, if you're just born right now, this is all you know. So like I told you, that's who it's for. It's for the next generation. It's not for you. It's for the next generation. If you've just had a baby, if you've got a child, this is who it's for. This is what this is all about, because they're going to willingly accept it, because that's all they know. So they're not going to think there's anything wrong with it. So you have to realize that time is ticking. Time is ticking on the planet to really wake up, because this has a lot to do with it. Let me talk about transhumanism for a second. A friend of mine by the name of Aaron Franz wrote a great book entitled The Age of Transitions. Okay, he wrote a great book entitled The Age of Transitions. And the reason why this book was so powerful when I read it back in 2012 is because he was showing that he actually released that book in 2012. He gave me a copy. I read it in a few hours and it blew me away. And a lot of people, they knew what was coming. You know, a lot of transhumanists, they already knew. People in that field, they realized that this was the next step for humanity. It was AI virtual reality. So this is also what 1984 is all about. Do you know, deep divers, your computer is the most powerful tool. It's the most powerful tracking tool in the world. Do you know that? Do you know that a social media app is the most powerful tracking tool in the world? And this is exactly what 1984 is all about. So there was a time. Oh, you like this? We're all smart today, deep divers. I'm going to the Oscars to say stop acting, Hollywood. So when you're on social media, especially Facebook, anytime you upload a picture, it's actually stored. Not only that, they also create mind files. So similar to how algorithms work, sometimes you go on Google, you click something, and how the hell did you know I want this? Because this is how they track. A computer is just a tracking device. And this is how these search engines work. So they know what you want. They know everything about you. And this is what this is all about. So when they say Big Brother is watching you, it's that is watching your every move, because you are giving them everything they need to watch you. You're giving them your whole information. Everybody wants to do it for the gram. You want to do it for the gram, right? People can't wait to post. But you got to remind yourself, you see, I told you, you're dealing with masters. They're not fools. These are, I call them the inorganic ones, right? They're masters knowing how to control human perception. So if you get enough people addicted to an app like Facebook or Instagram, now they want to show off. And do you know how many people, deep divers, let me just tell you this. Do you know how many people on social media have been stalked on social media? I think it even happened to Kim Kardashian, right? She was robbed because she was giving her whole address on social media. Well, that's part of 1984. So it's a world where surveillance is dominant. It's a world where your entire movement is tracked. Every action is traced, but it's not just them. You are also giving away the information. Adja Shanti, I appreciate that. Thank you, Ralph. You have helped bring me out of a deep depression about 2 years ago. I appreciate you for all your guidance. I've been vegan because of you. Thank you for reminding me of who I am. Let me give you a horn right there, baby. Let me give you a horn right there. I'm celebrating today, deep divers, as you can tell. It's my birthday right now. So this is the world's greatest awakening right now, as I speak. The world's greatest awakening right now. Because it's reached a point where everything is out in the open. You see, the best way to hide something is not hide it at all. Grace and Tyler, I appreciate you. Shout out to all the deep divers here who are just joining the live chat. Grace and Tyler, love you, Ralph. Thank you for everything you do. You lift me up every single day. Grace and I appreciate you. I do it for deep divers like you. You know, that's why I'm here. I do it for people like Grayson. People who are always here, always diving deep. And I told you, right now, we've all got to unite. Shout out to everybody diving deep once again. So, like I told you, the theme of today's live stream is 1984. And, you know, one thing you got to realize about that book, not just 1984, but you have to realize even about my book, Feel Alive by Ralph Smart, which was written telling you what was coming on the planet. And telling you that if you don't strive to feel alive, everything is going to be taken away from you. It's time to realize who you really are. It's time to realize what you're here to do. Realize who you are. Realize what you're here to do. You see, Trollface Productions 999, I appreciate the offering. One love to you. It's time to know what you're here to do. You see, a lot of people wake up and say, you know, this has got nothing to do with me right now. Everything that's happening on the planet has nothing to do with me. I'm going to mind my business and that's it. But what I want to tell you is that it's got everything to do with you, because one day you're going to wake up and realize that everything around you has changed. Everything around you has changed. Everything around you has changed. So it's really a race against time. It's a race against time for humanity right now. It's a race against time because the man-made clock is ticking. One love to everybody here who's just joining us on the live stream. Once again, deep divers, it's time. Let's raise the frequency. Let's raise the vibration. Let's go. Okay, we just had to raise the frequency. And be reminded of that. Be reminded of that. Shout out to everybody in the chat who's just joining us. We had so much fun. We're having so much fun. One love to everybody in the chat. So, you know, we have to remind ourselves, like I say, deep divers, I want you to ask yourself every single day, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? You see, one way, I did the whole video on past lives, okay? I did the whole video on past lives. And if you know anything about past lives, you've realized that people are constantly reincarnating, always coming back. So if you don't make it right this lifetime, you're going to have to come back the next one. And the one after that. But they know this. And that's why I told you they play for the long game. And that's why right now, you want to make sure that you're not quiet about what's happening or silent about what's happening. Shout out to everybody diving deep in the chat. I appreciate that. SW, like I told you, deep divers, it's all about gratitude. It's all about gratitude. It's all about gratitude. You see, one of the things, let me just tell you this. Let me just talk about becoming your greatest version, right? And manifestation. I don't need to make videos, deep divers, to get views. I don't need to make videos to get awards. I told you, I already got a YouTube Gold Award, right? I already got a YouTube Gold Award right here. Congratulations for surpassing 1 million subscribers, Infinite Waters. I already got over 15 billion minutes watched. I don't need fame, deep divers. I don't need more awards. But I'm showing you what's possible with the power of your mind. If you are somebody right now who's like, hey, I can inspire people, you really can. I did it. I'm doing it. Let me give a shout out to you. SW. Let me give a shout out to SW in the house. SW, many blessings to you, Ralph. I believe you're truly doing God's work. I see butterflies. What does that mean? Shout out to you, SW. Well, talking of butterflies, SW. Oh, I just found one here, right? What synchronicity. You're talking of butterflies. I just found one here. I just found one for you. I just found one for you. If you are seeing butterflies, a lot of the times I see a lot of butterflies. And I always say the butterfly is the symbol of resurrection. And this is part of the Great Awakening. The butterfly is a symbol of resurrection, metamorphosis. So let's rewind the butterfly's life. What was a butterfly before? What was a butterfly before? What was a butterfly before? Well, this was what a butterfly was before, and this is how a lot of people live on the planet, just like this caterpillar. This is how majority of people live on the planet. Just like this caterpillar. And I was there. I was a caterpillar. But then one day I woke up, I said, butterfly. I want my wings back, baby. I want my wings back. want to be able just to fly so smooth in the air, baby. Baby, baby. So you have to realize a butterfly is always a good omen. It's showing you resurrection, that you can rise from death and be reborn again. Because what the rest of the world are waking up to is that this is the only way to free ourselves. We can no longer like this on the planet. You see, I told you, we are approaching the 6th mass extinction on the planet. A lot of people on their knees right now praying, help me. But it's going to take more than a prayer. You're going to have to start waking up and saying, oh my gosh, I don't want my daughter to be like this 24/7. Well, if you don't do anything, that's what's going to happen. I told you. If you don't do anything, this is going to be the new normal for you. And ain't going to be shit you can do about it. This is going to be the new normal for you. Social distancing. And I told you that's an oxymoron. How can you be social and distant at the same time? That's a slow motion. Right? So you have to realize a lot is happening very quickly. And that's why I told you 1984 is real. If you are seeing butterflies, start learning from them. Start learning from the butterflies right now. Let me get technical with you, deep divers. You see, like this background behind me, it's a symbol of the Matrix. It's a symbol of how, okay, this is the Matrix for real. This background is the symbol of how reality works. And it's not something that just goes away. It's built into the fabric of everything. Just like Neo in the Matrix, he woke up to say, wait a minute, I'm living in a dream world. That's what you got to do. You got to wake up. You got to start thinking, say, what's really going on? Now you exit the Matrix. You start seeing the numbers, the binary. I told you. When you are seeing 1111, let me go back. When you are seeing 1111, it's the same thing. You're starting to see the glitches in the Matrix. See, most people are fast asleep. Most people are fast asleep. Most people are like this every single day. And this is how they're going to get 1984. So easy. Don't let them do it to you. Because if you don't do anything, like I say, it's going to be a nice walk to the slaughterhouse. You know, one thing about sheep, deep divers, is that for the most part, they're innocent. They don't know any better. All they do is follow. They don't really think for themselves, but at the same time, they're innocent animals. Much of humanity is also very innocent. See, a lot of humanity are just like these sheeps, eating grass, not worrying about much. Little do they know, they're being led to the slaughterhouse. People wake up, stare outside of their window, look left, look right, And that's what happens every single day. So you got to break that cycle. Deep divers, we're just having fun right now. One love to everybody here in the chat. One love to everybody right now who is awakening, who is rising. And that's the big thing, deep divers. Like I say, someone just said this in the chat. That's very important. Very, very important. Stop voting and take your power back. Let's go Star Trek for a second. Stop voting and take your power back. Together we rise. Together we'll rise. Absolutely. You know, I always say, this is also part of 1984. Because you got to realize, deep divers, you know, there was a great philosopher. He wouldn't even call himself a philosopher. But he goes by the name of Krishnamurti, who said, it's no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. So you have to realize the society is sick, needs help. And we got to start voting for ourselves. And wait a minute, you're making me hungry right now. Let's talk about 7-Day Vegan Challenge. Let's talk about 7-Day Vegan Challenge for a second. Shout out to everybody who's eating to live. You see, this is one of the great ways to take your power back. One of my videos, well, a lot of my videos, but one in particular, the Ralph Smart Diet. You know, I spoke of the benefits of the plant-based diet. And this is the real secret to get out of the matrix. This is the real secret to get out of the matrix. If you are eating to live, if you are waking up every single day with a whole bunch of grapes in your mouth, this is the real way to get out of the matrix. Shout out to everybody who's starting their plant-based journey. Because as you change what you are consuming, you also change what you're becoming. I've been vegan for over 15 years. People are like, Ralph, you look 15, right? I'm like, you're far too kind, baby. But it all started when I started to go green. That's when it all started. That's when the Great Awakening started for me. When I went green, when I did the juice cleanse. Because I was on that, deep divers. I was on that every single day. Just wake up, take Big Mac hot dogs, French fries, Coca-Cola. That was me. Then I said, wait a minute, I need to go green now. So I went green, right? The rest is history. Shout out to everybody in the chat, deep divers. You are appreciated. You are what you eat. Absolutely. You are always what you eat. Always what you eat. Once again, deep divers, welcome to the live stream 1984, the world's greatest awakening. If you're just joining us, welcome. Let's raise the vibration. We just had to raise the frequency. Shout out to everybody who's been on this live stream. So 1984, let's go back. This is what this live event is all about. Shout out to everybody in the chat. The world's greatest awakening. So let me go back. Because we started off the show reminding ourselves that what 1984 was about reversing everything. You see, 1984, a novel, a dystopian novel by English novelist George Orwell. Thematically, 1984 centers on the consequences of government overreach, totalitarianism, mass surveillance, and repressive regimentation of all persons and behaviors within society. What we realize is that 1984 is what's being prepared for you right now. And if you are somebody who says, it ain't got nothing to do with me, well, just watch and see what happens, because this has been in the works for a long time, even long before that novel was written. And you have to realize one thing. "1984 is not just about, it's not just a book. It is not just a book. It is not just something for entertainment. It is actually something which is happening right as I'm speaking. And therefore, if you are like, hey, I'm going to wake up and everything is going to be great, you must be dreaming. Let me give a huge shout out to you, Cove Michelle. I appreciate you. Your spirit and information is helping me break my alcohol escapism. I've done in this life and probably past lives as well. 9 of clubs, cycle break life. I appreciate you, Cove Michelle. And like I say, I'm here for you because it's not easy. You see, all of us, a lot of us, we've got vices. We've got addictions, because that's what happens when you're in the matrix. I'm no saint either, you know, but it's time to realize that we have all the power to change and become the superheroes which we really are. But we have to unplug, because you see, I said even in one of the new videos that they screwed you over from the start. You know, this is screwing people over. It starts at school. And you see, this is the one thing. A lot of people who watch my videos, they're even studying right now. And I'm not going to say, hey, don't study. You know, do what you got to do. But realize this is part of the 1984 agenda. And this is how they control a lot of people, by making them feel they have to go through the system to become something. Yeah, I went to university. Did I need to do that? Absolutely not. You know, when I look back, I say, gosh, I wasted a lot of time. I could have been outside every single day. So as soon as I got out, I was outside every single day. But it's not only that, it's more of the groupthink mentality. So I want to remind you, if you are somebody who is waking up right now, somebody who can see what's going on, congratulations. Because a lot of people right now are starting to experience their own mini awakening. And that's what it's always been about. It's always about your own personal reality. That should always be very important. One love to everybody in the chat. Let me give a huge shout out to E. Like I say, deep divers, I'm shouting out all the grateful ones today. I'm shouting out all the grateful ones today. Every deep diver who's grateful, I'm shouting them out. E, shout out to you. I started this journey on January this year. '11 was my message, and I'm Aquarius, the 11th zodiac. In December 2020, Jupiter and Saturn will be grand conjunct. Aquarius, the time of new age and old systems dying. Absolutely. Aquarius, time of new age and old systems dying. Absolutely. Shout out to you. I appreciate that. Shout out to everybody who is waking up, who has a mind of their own. You see, one thing, and this is how the 1984 works. You see, I told you. Have you heard that song by Linkin Park? How do the lyrics go? You tried so hard, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. Well, that's really what's happening on the planet right now. Now, a lot of people worked really hard just to, on their business, on their dream, and they were found, what happened? They lost their job. So you have to realize that the only way to rise above all of this is to not place all of your trust in the matrix, because the foundation is shaky. They can create another lockdown at any time. Anytime they can do it. Anytime they can do it. So you want to make sure you are self-sufficient. You want to make sure your mind is free to realize you have possibilities. Let's go crystals. Let's go crystals. Deep divers, let me just raise the frequency and the vibration. We ain't going 80s today. We're going magical. We just had to raise the frequency. We just had to raise the vibration. So, once again, 1984, the world's greatest awakening. Let me just give you a little thumbs up, a little heads up, that right now you have to ask yourself every single day, is what I'm doing part of the change, or is what I'm doing part of the problem? You see, this right here is the microchip. You can see that needle. This is so small. All you got to do is inject it into somebody. Then they've got a microchip inside of them. It's tiny. It's so small. Look at the size of it compared to your hairs on your body. So right now, you want to prepare yourself for what's coming. You want to prepare yourself, and you want to make sure you're in a situation where your lifestyle is not part of the problem. That's fundamental. You see, I can sleep. Letitia T, I appreciate the offering. One love to you. One love to all the deep divers. Let me give a huge round of applause to all the deep divers who are giving offerings and who've been supporting Infinite Waters. Let me give you a huge round of applause. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. So many wonderful deep divers here. Justice Penny, I appreciate that. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. You see, this is part of the Great Awakening. The reason why people say, Ralph, why do you respond to comments? Someone actually asked me that a long time ago. They say, why do you even bother to respond to people's comments on YouTube? They said, Ralph, you got a YouTube Gold Award. You're inspiring millions. Don't waste time. I said, I'm not wasting time, because anytime I respond to a deep diver, it's because I really know who they are. And like I told you, when you treat people like family, you always get rewarded. When you treat people like family, you're going to manifest a YouTube Gold Award. When you treat people like family, you're going to have over 15 billion minutes watched. So I told them that's why I respond. Because you got to realize that it's not just about me. And this is just advice to anybody who is thinking of inspiring millions like myself. Treat the people who have been there from the start with respect, appreciation, because they helped you get here. The cat down the road helped me get here, deep divers. Shout out to everybody. We're having a phenomenal time. Well, you say that social isolation. You said that quote. I got another one for you, though. But we're going to go with the one you said, right? And then I want deep divers to say, okay, how can we change this one around? How can we change? Let's go back to Greece. So, social isolation says this: dying for the right cause is the most human thing we can do. Fraser, Blade Runner 2049. That's a good one. But I would change it if I had it my way. How would you change that, deep divers? Sandra Cortez, I appreciate that. Let me give a huge shout out to Sandra Cortez. Shout out to Sandra. DC. So let me give a huge shout out to Sandra. You're amazing for giving us your time and advice. Thank you for everything. That's what I'm here to do. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Sandra. Let me give a huge shout out to DC Slade. Let's go to DC Slade. Let's go to DC Slade. DC Slade, love you, Ralph. I'm not going to put my life story on here and how much you've had an impact on it. Just thanks. I appreciate you, DC Slade. Love you, Ralph. I'm not going to put my life story on here and how much you've had an impact on it. Just thanks. I appreciate you. Like I say, I'm here for people like DC Slade, people like Sandra, deep divers who show appreciation. And there are a lot of people who show appreciation. You see, Joyful T, I appreciate you. You know, I got a story about appreciation. Let me give you a story about appreciation. Let me give you a little story about appreciation, right? I met somebody, Hein Hale. I appreciate that. Let me give you a little story of appreciation. You know, one thing about Infinite Waters, and let me tell you this. I love live streaming, but, you know, when I do my regular uploads, what's happened with the Infinite Waters channel is that people are seeing that because the quality I put out is such high quality. Just even the cinematic quality, 4K resolution, 8K resolution. Because YouTube notices my channel is extremely valuable, what they do is that they tell advertisers that, you know, anytime you have over 1 million subscribers on YouTube and you are creating content that's beneficial, what they do is that they tell advertisers, hey, you can advertise on this channel, but it's to the highest bidder. So that's what happened to Infinite Waters. That's why I told you, universe works in my favor. Shout out to Gaia, because they're always advertising on Infinite Waters. Always advertising on Infinite Waters. You see, Gaia is always supporting Infinite Waters. But basically, MCM, I appreciate that. And this is why I told you of what gratitude does. Of what gratitude does. You know, all I have to do, I don't even have to make a video again in my life, deep divers, and I will still be extremely wealthy. I don't make videos just to make money. I make videos to help people. But I'm telling you, when you are helping people, great things happen. So with YouTube, when you are creating content like I am, and I've been doing over a period of time consistently, YouTube starts to say, okay, wait a minute. This person is creating content day after day in high resolution, great messages, helping a lot of people. So what they do is that they say, okay, you can advertise on this channel, but it's the highest bidder. So long story short, Infinite Waters has one of the highest CPMs on YouTube. So that's why I told you, when you are righteous, when you do the right thing, you get rewarded. The universe works in your favor. There's a great book called The Alchemist, right? By Paulo Coelho. It says, and when you want something, the whole universe conspires to help you get it. What? Slow motion this side. That's why I told you, deep divers. I'm wealthy without even doing anything, just by being myself. So you got to remind yourself, Ralph Smart has been making videos for a little while. Do you know how wealthy I've become making videos on YouTube? Do you know? Do you know how wealthy I am? Do you know how wealthy I am? I don't think you do. So that's why I told you, deep divers, I don't have to do this. I don't need fame. I'm doing this because I'm a humanitarian first and foremost. I'm here to impact your life and to take you to the next level. Because I've already manifested. I already got a YouTube Gold Award. Right here. Right here, deep divers. Right here. Right here. Just by being myself. I already reached the highest levels. The highest levels, the gold levels. Talking about becoming your greatest version. So, like I told you, when you learn how to give, you will always receive. I had to go there, deep divers. Let me give a shout out to Is That Wexty? Thank you for the offering. Thank you, brother, for your information. I'll be supporting till the end. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You know, shout out to all the deep divers who are supporting Infinite Waters. Because that's part of the Great Awakening. You see, one of the best ways to manifest is to support people who are doing it. I learned that from my mentor. He said, Ralph, if you want to reach the next level, start supporting people who are where you want to be. Because if you are envious, if you are jealous, you're going to stay on the low frequency, the low vibration. You know, I'm not going to mention their names. I've mentored a lot of people who you might even know. I'm not going to put them on blast. They came to me for help. They're like, Ralph, I need some help. I said, don't worry, I got you. Do this, do that, do this, and then watch how it changes. But they came to me with humility. And this is why one person in particular is one of the top influencers in the world. I'm not going to mention their names, but they came to me. I mentored them years ago. But till this day, they're always saying, Ralph, your videos changed my entire life. You see, that's the difference, deep divers. That's the difference. You see, this is part of the Great Awakening. When you can listen to information and then see how your life changes afterwards. I can see just by me sharing what I'm sharing, it's brought me health, wealth, prosperity, love, freedom. That's part of the Great Awakening. That's part of the Great Awakening. One love to everybody in the chat. Deep divers, I told you, we're just raising the frequency. I'm giving a huge shout out to everybody who has sent in an offering. Joyful T, I appreciate you. What you appreciate appreciates. I appreciate you, Ralph. Oh my God. Slow motion this side. Say it again, Ralph. What you appreciate appreciates. I appreciate you, Ralph. Woo! Can we drop a love bomb on that, please? 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 Jesus.
Let's get ready to rumble. Let's get ready to rumble.
Oh, she just said that. You know, that's why I've been telling you, deep divers, this thing really works. What you appreciate appreciates. I appreciate you, Ralph. We're just going to keep it on that screen for a little while. I want you to read that, deep divers, digest it. She has just said this, the greatest secret of manifestation. She, the wonderful, joyful T, has just said the most important secret of manifestation. What you appreciate appreciates. I appreciate you. Let's go to Egypt for this one, baby, because we're in the golden age right now. We're in the golden age right now. What you appreciate appreciates. I appreciate you, Ralph. You see, deep divers, I keep telling you, and this is part of the Great Awakening, to get out of everything that's happening. Learn that secret she just showed you. What you appreciate appreciates. Always remind yourself of that every single day. Every single day. We have to take a moment of silence right now. Shout out to you, Rokesh, as well. Rokesh Sarju, I appreciate you. Thank you, my dearest guru. Removing darkness from the minds of the world and granting true enlightenment. I love how you made the light capital letters, you know. Like I told you, some people say I'm a guru, and some people just know me as the one who's the cat down the road. And by the way, deep divers, the cat down the road is a bit shy right now. It's the first time it's live streaming. Cut it some slack, please. Please, deep divers. Right? Give the cat down the road some love, deep divers. Give the cat down the road some love, please. It's shy right now. You know. We love you, cat down the road. So that was powerful. That was powerful because that really just brought it home. That was a home run. What you appreciate appreciates. Woo! That's a powerful one right there. But the timing of it. Let me give a shout out to Average John. What's up, Ralph? Through a weird coincidence, I found your channel 3 days ago. Think I meant to talk to you. Is that possible? If you have time, man. Hey, let me know what's on your mind. Just drop a comment in the chat. I'm going to answer it right now. Drop it in the chat and I'll put it on the screen. So let me give you a little lesson. Let me go back to what you appreciates, okay? Because that just shifted the whole frequency and it came in at the 2222. You see, when you realize, let's get all blue, baby. When you realize how powerful that statement was, at the right time. Not just the words, but it came at the right time. This shows me the Great Awakening is here. You see, you have a choice about where you place your focus. It can be here, or you can wake up appreciating your life. You see, I told you, this is how they control you in the Matrix. They've always looking outside of yourself. It's never enough. You know, they got you comparing your body to someone else on social media. Now you don't look good. You feel bad. You say, I'm ugly. My body's not thin enough. And the more you look outside of yourself, the more they keep you trapped in the Matrix. That's why I told you, sometimes you need to take a break from social media. Sometimes you have to delete Facebook completely, because this is part of the 1984 agenda. But when you can do what Jules said, when you can do what Joyful T said, when you can do what Joyful T said, everything changes in the best way. Everything changes in the best way. What you appreciates. Always remind yourself that, deep divers. What you appreciates. I appreciate you, Ralph. That comment may be one of the highest vibrational comments I've ever received on this live stream. It may be, you know, because you just are saying everything. You're summing up the Great Awakening, how we can all get out of this, the answer. Learn that what you appreciate appreciates. And this is what I say. You came here to not only wear this, you came here to appreciate the beauty of life, baby. You came here just to do a little samba. You came here to really pro yoga. Look at what that man is doing right now. You came here to start realizing the potential of your body. When you appreciate your body, it appreciates. A lot of people can do phenomenal things with their body. They can do handstands, cartwheels. You see, we could all do this, but a lot of people, they don't appreciate their body. Anybody can do this if you put your mind to it. But are you willing to appreciate it? Because if you appreciate it, it's going to appreciate. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Appreciate it. Let's go to nature. What you appreciate appreciates. If you appreciate nature, you're going to get lost there. You know, some people, deep divers, some people already in nature every single day. Some people already in nature every single day. They live in the woods, right? They live in the ocean. They got a boat. They just float around, baby. Mental hack. I appreciate that I'm social distancing from social media. Woo! Well, that's how it is. You know, that's how it is right now. You got to take a social distance from social media, right? Sometimes. I'm doing that a lot, right? But that was a powerful statement. You see, I want to remind you, deep divers, if you can appreciate yourself today, if you can love yourself, because right now it's not easy, you know, but if you can appreciate all the things that you are doing right, that will start to appreciate. You know, there are days, deep divers, where I'm like, gosh, you know, I'm not doing enough. I'm terrible person. I'm bad person. Then I see my life going downhill. All it takes is just one compliment. Wait a minute, Ralph. You're doing better than you think. You're doing better than you think. And you have to congratulate yourself. This is part of self-love. Every single day, deep divers, you got to wake up. Ajah Jando, it's not a lot, but I just want to thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Once again, it's all about the act of giving. One love to you. Let me give a shout out to you, AJ Sal. You know, and this is also part of the Great Awakening. AJ Sal, I just deleted Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You want to talk Twitter? All that's left is YouTube. And I kept it because I want to continue watching your videos. Oh, I appreciate that, dear. The cat down the road appreciates you too. It's like, oh my gosh. Thank you so much. The cat down the road came out just is shy right now. Come on. You gonna say thank you? Shy right now. But, you know, even me, there'll be a day where, you know, I love to make videos on YouTube, but a lot of the other social media, I've realized it can be a distraction. MCN, I appreciate that. Dropping 50. Let's go. Gratitude, deep divers, gratitude. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody who's dropped an offering. You know, one thing I want to tell you, deep divers, is that, see, the vibration is just so high right now. It's so high right now. I can't believe how many amazing people are on this live stream. I love you. I can't believe how many amazing people are on this live stream. I love you. I can't believe how many amazing. Hey, I can believe it. I can believe it though, because this is deep divers, baby. This is diving deep. So let me go back to 1984. The Great Awakening. So as I said, deep divers, right now, it is time to realize you are in spiritual warfare. And this is something which has been going on for a long time on the planet. You see, a lot of people, they don't ask, how did you become infinite waters? I had to get initiated, deep divers. I had to know what's really going on the planet. And mark my words, there are many forces who are on this planet. And it's not a personal thing. It's just that they don't like human beings at all. At all. And they would rather you not be on the planet. Simply because they don't see human beings as anything else than a waste of space. And that's why I told you, there are people, or not people, who don't see human beings as anything good. In fact, just like in the film The Matrix, what was Agent Smith telling Morpheus? Human beings are a disease, a cancer to the planet. That's how they see you. A disease, a cancer to the planet. And they would rather that you weren't here. So you have to remind yourself that that's why self-hate is promoted so much. And to override this programming, you have to make sure you love yourself every single day. Because this is how they got you right now. This is how they got you. A lot of people, they feel low. And that's what they want. So, like I said, you can be free in nature, or you can help create your own prison. Right? One love to everybody in the chat. I appreciate that. Giovanni. One love to Giovanni in the house. One love to everybody diving deep. You know, we're just warming up, deep divers. We got all day. I'm just getting warmed up right now. Welcome to the live stream. How's your day going, deep divers? And if you ever had a question, a comment, let me know. Let me give a huge shout out to Giovanni. Giovanni, hey Ralph, how do you think karma affects the inorganic ones? Because they aren't always doing bad. That's a great question. That's a great question. That's a great question. What I'll tell you is this. First and foremost, you have to realize that many of the inorganic ones, they don't actually do anything. Many of the inorganic ones, they don't do anything to humanity at all. All they do is get you to do it. That's all. So they are karma free. A lot of those inorganic ones, that's why they can keep doing it, because they're not actually doing anything. What they do is that they tell you to do something and then you do it. But that's your karma, it's not theirs. What? Slow motion this side. So for instance, if I say, hey, a load of cars are coming, I say, hey, cross the road. You better look. Don't just listen to me. You better look. So this is how they escape the karma. They don't do it themselves. They get you to do it. Just like with police brutality, right? You see, there's a saying that wealthy people never send their sons to war or daughters. You know, wealthy people never send their sons to war. All the presidents, all the monarchy, they don't send their children to war. They get your children to go and fight in the war, right? Well, that's the same thing that happens. The inorganic ones never do anything. They just get you to do it. All they do is they're just guiding you to do it. So, for instance, they can create alcohol. But at the same time, they're not telling you, hey, you got to drink it. It's just there if you want it. And then people might drink it. They might get liver failure. They might pass away. So they didn't tell you to drink it. They just created it for you. Same thing with cigarettes. They didn't say, hey, you need to smoke a cigarette, which causes lung cancer. They just said, hey, it's readily available for you. So you have to remind yourself that nobody's making you do anything without your permission. What? Slow motion this side. And that's how they get away with it. You know, they work on principles. They work on principles. One love to everybody in the live stream. Deep divers, we're having fun. How's your day going? You're drinking vodka right now? Pass me some water. Hey, Anders, let's go back to 1984, deep divers, okay? Because that's the theme of this show. That's the theme of this show. 1984 was a novel written by George Orwell. See, one of the things George Orwell said, and Anders, thank you for pointing that out to me. Okay, listen very closely. Listen very closely to this. Listen very closely to this, deep divers. Let me get up the comment. Anders, thank you for the comment. If you want a vision of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever. What? Slow motion this side. You better wake up, deep divers. I don't think you heard me. I don't think you heard me. Anders. This is from the book 1984, Deep Divers, by George Orwell. If you want a vision of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever. That's what's happening right now. And it's up to us to do something about it. But like I told you, this is all about 1984, which is in effect right now. And it's going to be in full effect by next year. And if you want a vision of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever. George Orwell wasn't just writing this just to entertain you. He was telling you about what's coming on the planet because he knew he was in a secret society. They planned this 100 years ago. Shout out to everybody. But that's a very, very important quote. Very, very important quote from 1984. I told you, deep divers, it's going to get ugly out here. It's going to get savage out here. You know, and they're going to stage a food crisis. Let me give a shout out to you, Lenise Moody. I appreciate that. Shout out to Lenise Moody. Oh, deep divers, we're just warming up. We got all night, baby. We got all night. We got all day. I'm just starting, deep divers. Welcome to the live stream. Oh, we got lots of energy. Don't worry about that. Lenise Moody. I'm just breathing. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Thank you for your geniusness and your authentic truth. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Sabrina Marie, much love to you. I appreciate that, Sabrina. I appreciate you. That's 1010. Let's go. Much love to you. You know, one thing, so many wonderful deep divers on this live chat. So many wonderful deep divers. Let me give a huge shout out to everybody who's just in the chat. I see the comments, baby. I see the comments. I appreciate you. Let me give a huge shout out to Ashley. The one like Ashley Estrella. Ashley Estrella. Thank you so much for bringing light into my life on the darkest times. You always have positive message that brings a smile to my day. Love you. I appreciate you, Ashley. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Ashley. You know, I appreciate you, Ashley. I appreciate everybody on this chat because this shows me there's hope. This shows me there's hope. This truly shows me there's hope because, like I said in yesterday's video, you know, it seems sometimes that we're the only ones, but there are millions of people who are awake right now, who are aware right now, who are spreading information to help other people. It's a fantastic time to be alive. It's just that now we got to step on the gas. Right now, the acceleration has to increase. We've got to take this to the next level. Peaceful Pisces. Oh, baby. Let me shout out Peaceful Pisces right now. I see you, Pisces. You know, shout out to all the Pisceans. I'm biased, deep divers. I'm a Pisces. Let me shout out to all the Pisceans. Peaceful Pisces. Much love and gratitude to you, Ralph. You are a supreme being blessed by divine. Been on 7-day vegan challenge for a few years now. Feels so good to be alive. That's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. Well, that's what it's all about. You know, like I say, you know, I'm a peaceful Pisces. You know, just like you, Peaceful Pisces. Wait a minute. Are we connected? shout out to you, Peaceful Pisces. I appreciate that. Casey Hamill, I appreciate you. I appreciate Casey Hamill. Much love to you. Casey Hamill, love is powerful. We are powerful. Wake up, remember. You see, deep divers, you got people in the chat telling you what's up. Telling you what's up, baby. Telling you what's up. Love is powerful. We are powerful. It's time to wake up and remember that. Absolutely. So, the choice of the reality you choose, deep divers, is always in your hands. The choice of the reality you choose is always in your hands. The choice of the reality you choose is always in your hands. Write that down. Quote me on that. The choice of the reality you choose is always in your hands. 1111. Rashida Tuck, I appreciate you. Shout out to Rashida Tuck. It's something about the 1111 deep divers. I just keep seeing 1111 everywhere right now. Rashida Tuck, big up to you. Peace and love to you and all of the deep divers. That's wonderful. We had to change the background because deep divers we're raising the frequency right now. You see, one thing, and that's a great question as well. Would you choose love or fear? Let me tell you this. A lot of people right now are choosing fear. Why? Why do you think a lot of people choose fear? Because they want to be safe. I told you, deep divers, when you realize how this whole thing works, nobody's safe. The life you're living from the moment you're born to the moment you pass away has already been planned. It's already been written. That's why in the Arabic they say maktub, which means it was written. From the moment you're born to the moment your ass is out of here. So you got nothing to worry about. It's already written. So I told you, the ones who are in fear think that if I'm a goody, I'm going to get brownie points. There are no brownie points, deep divers. You got to do what you got to do without fear. Fear is the illusion. Surfing and snacking, I appreciate you. One love forever. Let us choose a utopian reality with love and peaceful intentions of mindful ways. Absolutely. 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 And that's the thing, because you see, the 1984 Great Awakening is the two reality we can choose. Two realities we have a choice of. Surfing and snacking, shout out to you. One love forever. Let us choose a utopian reality with love and peaceful intentions of mindful ways. That's powerful. You see, this is the utopian paradise we can all create. Well, in fact, it's not actually a utopia. It's what's already present on the planet. Earth is actually paradise. You ever been to the ocean, just cruise along it, jog along it? You're like, goodness gracious, I'm in paradise right now. So we must never forget that we're actually living in paradise. It's just that a lot of people are distracted right now. So you got a choice. Like surfing and snacking said, we can choose the utopia, or as I call it, what's already here, or we can choose the dystopian world in 1984. The 1984 barcode reality. Big brother, on the side of their arms, it says slave. Right? So we can always choose. It's always a choice, deep divers. It's always a choice. You can choose, baby, spread those arms out, or you can choose to be in someone else's lower vibration. So many amazing deep divers on this chat. Goodness gracious. I'm blown away. I'm blown away, deep divers. I'm blown away. I want I want to say a huge shout out to everybody who's been diving deep. 1111 Rashida Turk, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody here on this chat. It has been a phenomenal live stream. Deep divers. You see, another thing, let me just tell you this, give you a bit of game. You see, the Great Awakening right now is where you realize you can learn a new skill. Just like I've got this whole new setup with live streaming, I can go live at any time. Boom, I'm live. So this is how the Great Awakening starts, to say, actually, let me learn how to live stream. Let me learn how to get out information to the masses. Because if you can learn live streaming, oh, it's over. Erica, I appreciate that. One love to everybody on the chat. Deep divers, I'm just here sending you all good energy. Sending you all good energy. You know, life is good right now. We're just calm, collected. Shout out to everybody diving deep right now. So many wonderful deep divers on this chat. I'm blown away, deep divers. I'm blown away every single day. I'm blown away. All about the Benjamin. Much love to you, all about the Benjamin. That's your username? That's what's up. Shout out to Erica on Con as well. The entire trial available at US Department of Justice website and Coretta King website. They have no one's best interest in mind. One love. Thank you for waking us up, Erica. Thank you for waking us all up, Erica. You see, I told you, deep divers. It's good to be in the know. It's good to wake up and see what's really happening. It's good to wake up and see what's really happening, because one thing you have to realize is that there's no accidents. See, everything has been planned behind closed doors. Everything has been planned behind closed doors. I remember when they had this app. I think the app is still available right now. See, this is what the 1984 agenda is all about. Is to track your every single movement. Because 1984, what does this say? Serve and protect. To serve and protect. That's the true motto of Big Brother, to serve and protect. But you have to ask yourself, to serve and protect who? What? Slow motion this side. You got to ask yourself, to serve and protect who? That's the question. That's the question, because I told you. That's the question. Let me give a huge shout out to Benjamin. Let me give a huge shout out to Benjamin. Much love to everybody on the chat, deep divers. See a lot of people enjoying the live stream. Much love to Benjamin. Right now. I listen to you every day. Much love. People always ask me why I'm always smiling. I tell them I have no fear, but continue to show love. Ooh, ooh. That's what it's about. Let me drop a love bomb on that. Yeah. 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 Yes, yes. So, that's powerful, Benjamin. I listen every day, much love. People always ask me why I'm smiling. I tell them I have no fear, but continue. Oh, I tell them I have no fear, but continue to show love. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And that's the attitude you got to have, deep divers, to override everything that's happening. To override everything that's happening. Another thing I want to tell you, okay, because I spoke of the contactless society. This is what the 1984, let's go back to 1984, is all about, right? So with the 1984, like I say, let's go back to the book. George Orwell, 1984. War is peace. Freedom is slavery. Ignorance is strength. Also in my book, Feel Alive by Ralph Smart on Amazon, I talk about the same thing. In this book, George Orwell's book, one thing that he said in the book, which you really want to pay attention to, because this is the end goal. This is the end goal. Okay, let me go back to another comment. They said it. They said it in the comment section. Anders, from 1984, if you want a vision of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever. I repeat, if you want a vision of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever. So like I told you, it's about to get ugly, real ugly, real gruesome. But you have a choice. Always. You always have a choice, which you have to be aware of. Do you want a boot stamping on your face forever? Or do you want to say, we ain't having that? We ain't having that. One love to everybody in this chat, deep divers. Like I told you, you are appreciated. You are appreciated. You are very appreciated. Deep divers, we're just chilling right now. We're just chilling. We're just soaking it up, living the good life every single day. So deep divers, remind yourself, 1984, the Great Awakening, you have a choice of which reality you're going to choose, which reality you're going to live in. You not doing anything about what's happening will only lead you into the slaughterhouse. You have to take a firm look at what you're doing every single day, the job you're working in, even what you're sharing on social media. Is it part of the solution or are you part of the problem? Because the more you just idly turn a blind eye, like, ain't got nothing to do with me, let me keep taking these selfies. Well, don't be surprised when the whole world becomes a prison. So you have a choice. You have also a responsibility, not just to you, but to your children, your grandchildren, and the cat down the road. You got a responsibility to the cat to the cat down the road. Misty Nelson, thank you, dear. So I appreciate you, Misty. One love to you. One love to you. And that's the frequency of everything. It's that love vibration. It's that love vibration that's going to change everything. It's that love vibration that's going to change everything. Get loving your loved ones now more than ever. That's a solution to everything that's happening. Don't be afraid of touching them. You know, shout out to you, Misty. Shout out to everybody who's diving deep. And like I told you, deep divers, I appreciate each and every one of you. Each and every one of you. Most High God, I appreciate you. So, the way we stopped 1984, some people even call it COVID 1984, right? And you can see that, right? COVID 1984, right? It's all, like I told you, deep divers, this was all planned a long time ago. Can you see? COVID 1984, because it's all about code words. The COVID-19 is actually the COVID 1984, is actually the 1984 Big Brother state, where you see these face masks on these people right now, deep divers, these face masks. Yeah. People already have that. That's the first part done. That was easy to do. That was easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But this part is going to be a bit more tricky. You know, what do you think they're going to do to give you the barcode, deep divers? How do you think they're going to finesse you? Let me give a huge shout out to Valerie Morgan. Valerie Morgan 3333. Forever grateful each and every day. Let me give a huge shout out to Valerie. A huge shout out to Valerie with a 3-3. Let's go Star Trek. Let's go Star Trek. We're in Star Trek right now, deep divers. Boldly going where no man has gone before. Right? So let me give a huge shout out to Valerie. Huge shout out to Valerie. Valerie Morgan, forever grateful each and every day for you. Master 3333, the chosen ones, infinite love to you, Ralph. All the deep divers and the cat down the road, vegan for life, 3 years. Woo! Woo! Let me give you a round of applause, Valerie. Let me give you a round of applause. So, one thing I want to tell you is, you know, the vibration is very high in this live stream, which is perfect. This is the breeding ground for us all to realize fear has no place in our reality. Let me give a shout out to the one like Sarah. The one like Sarah. Let me give a huge shout out to the one like Sarah. You know, all the deep divers on this chat. Sarah Tally. Thanks again, Ralph. What are your thoughts on the vibration of coffee? There are studies that show it's energetically warming and helps us feel fuzzy and bonded to people who otherwise would feel cooler with, who we would feel cooler with, right? Okay. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I used to drink coffee. If that counts, does that count, honey? But, you know, from the research I've done on coffee, I've been to Ethiopia. When I'm in Ethiopia, I get brought into a coffee house. I taste the coffee. It's the best coffee I've ever tasted in my entire life. I said, I want that every single day, right? It's a lot different from the coffee I used to taste in the UK, in the US, right? In Europe, right? So you need to make sure you got the best coffee to drink. The natural coffee has a lot of beneficial properties. But as always, there is always the bastardized version of coffee. And the coffee that is, especially in the West, has a high amounts of caffeine. And what it does to a lot of people is that it leaves them overstimulated. So this is why a lot of people have a lot of sleep deprivation, because they're always up. They're always drinking Red Bull and drinking coffee. But because of that, they always got bags under their eyes. They're always tired. So you have to realize that if you get the right coffee, get the Ethiopian coffee, the world's, that Ethiopia is famous for its coffee, organic coffee. You'd be on cloud 9, baby. But like I say, it's whatever works for you. I always say go with whatever your heart tells you. All I know is that I'm already on a high. But these are all, it's all plant-based. The coffee plant is plant-based. It's just that everything in moderation. A lot of people are drinking coffee like water. And you need water, but the body doesn't always need coffee. You're overstimulating your body. You're never going to get sleep. You're going to have insomnia. You're going to have high blood pressure. So you don't want to overdo it. I meet a lot of people, they can't stop drinking coffee and they're always so tired. They're always so tired. Shout out to you, Sarah. So many amazing deep divers on this live chat. One love to everybody. I appreciate you, deep divers. I appreciate you, deep divers. You're saying coffee is decaffeinated crack. Too much coffee unbalanced. So you see, I'm not a coffee drinker. And people who are coffee drinkers, they really can tell you. From what is done to them after like 10 years. Ask an experienced coffee drinker. What is it like after 10 years of drinking 5 cups of coffee every single day? They're going to tell you it's terrible. Or it's great, One love to everybody diving deep once again. In the chat, I see you. So, like I say, if you're just joining us on the live chat, let's go back to what the live stream, the live event is all about. It's about 1984, the world's greatest awakening. Because this is the world's greatest awakening. 1984, because 1984 is the world's greatest awakening. It's also going to be the world's greatest prison. You see, everything is a two-sided coin. As people really wake up, there will be people who will become a barcode. That's all. Forget about who your old friends. There will be barcodes. Jero, I appreciate that. Shout out to everybody diving deep. And that's an important question. That's a very important question. Shout out to Jero. One love to you, deep divers. Shout out to Jero. And that's a great question he asked, deep divers. We're so retro right now. We're so retro. Jero, Afonso, I appreciate you. Hi, Ralph. Did you experience the dark night of the soul when you had your massive awakening? Any tips? Thank you. Absolutely. I experienced the dark night of the soul a few times. And I always say everybody's going to experience it when they go on their awakening journey. You see, the dark night of the soul is when you wake up and realize that you also have a shadow side. You see, this is what a lot of people don't want to admit. They just want to be peace, love, and kumbaya and namaste. But also, many people have a shadow side That's the dark night of the soul. When you wake up, it's almost like you're having a breakdown. You start to realize that you've been suppressing all of these emotions. Happened to me along my journey. Happened to me along my early journey, in fact, Jero. And it was a good experience, but it was scary because I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You see, everyone is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Everyone has a shadow. In Star Wars, they call it the dark side, right? The dark side is not necessarily bad. It's just that you have to awaken. You have to awaken to it, right? You have to awaken to it. And I want you to realize that if you have a dark night of the soul, don't just go through it, but learn from it. Learn from it every single day. What is this teaching me? So, if you're just joining, 1984, the world's greatest illusion. Not only the world's greatest illusion, but the world's greatest awakening. It can be the world's greatest illusion. And this is the main event, the live event, the event shift that they're turning human beings into. Slowly, one step at a time, a lot of human beings are slowly being altered. And this is how these things work. They take time. You can't rush and put everyone in lockdown straight away. You got to wait first. You can't say everyone wear a mask first. Now, it's not so bad to wear a mask right now. People aren't really complaining. People are okay with it. So this is how they get you. They make you enjoy the prison. And before you know it, you turn into this woman. This is what this is all about. You ain't going to be human anymore. But that's another story. We got to talk about that another time. Shout out to everybody diving deep once again. I'm all, and this is another thing, one thing which is part of the Great Awakening. It's about unity. You've seen me do a whole 3-hour live stream with my friend Till Swan. And that's how we create the shift. We start linking with like minds to create the change that's needed. So always remind yourself that right now we got to start working with other people. And we can change this whole thing around. Unity, deep divers, is the only thing that's going to turn this thing around. And once that happens, well, we'll just say, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello there? Probably one of the best live streams, the most fun I've had. Shout out to everybody who's got the book Feel Alive by Ralph Smart on Amazon and at ralphsmart.com/thebook. And kit yourself out with the good ass Prana clothing, ralphsmart.com/clothes. If you're a sexy ass model, woo, with a whole lot of heart, let me know what you got. Oh, yes, if you are messaging me, add me on Instagram right now. If you've ever had a question for Ralph Smart, add me on Instagram at official Ralph Smart. That's the place. I don't think you can see that. Let me get this up properly. Right? Add me there on Instagram right now at official Ralph Smart if you've got a question for me. And Like I told you, deep divers, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. Peace, infinite waters, diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace. You! Deep divers, I love all of you. You know, to everybody in the chat, you know, we had fun. And that's the thing. When you're in your purpose, you get a whole lot of energy. I can go another 3 hours, no problem. But let's rock out to the music, deep divers, right? You ready? One love to you. Thanks for diving deep. I hope you enjoyed the live stream. And let's rock out. Let's go.